Last week, we spoke about elimination. We discussed the 7 burdens you must quietly set down after 40, the need for approval, the grip of the past, the exhausting busyness, the illusion of control. Some of you watched that video and felt relief. You felt lighter. You understood that the sculptor does not create by adding clay, but by chipping away everything that is not the statue. But others of you watched that video and felt something darker. You felt panic, because when you began to eliminate the noise, the distractions, the false narratives, you were left staring at the wreckage, at 20 years of wrong choices, at a career that feels like a prison sentence, at a marriage that has become a transaction, at a body that betrays you each morning. And you thought, I have eliminated the waste, but what do I build now? And is it too late to build anything at all? That question, that 3 a.m. question that wakes you up in a cold sweat, that is what we address today. There is a specific type of panic that settles into a man's chest when he turns 40. It is not the fear of death. It is the fear that he has already died, and his body just hasn't figured it out yet. You look at your life, and the math doesn't add up. 20 years of labor, and what do you have to show for it? You see younger men surpassing you, building businesses, living with purpose, making the moves you said you'd make someday. And you feel something darker than envy. You feel irrelevant. You feel like you missed your window. The cement has dried. The story is written. The credits are rolling. And the heaviest thought of all settles in like a stone. It is too late. I am here to tell you something that will either terrify you or liberate you. You are lying to yourself. That story about being too old, too far gone, too invested in the wrong path, it's fiction. It's a permission slip you've been writing yourself to stay exactly where you are. Last week, we cleared the dead wood. Today, we burn the stump. Today, we restart. This is not theory. This is the manual for restarting your life after 40, drawn from men who lost everything and rebuilt. From the Stoic masters who understood that transformation isn't about feeling good. It's about becoming worthy of the life you want. You have eliminated the need for approval. You have closed the book on the past. But there is a chain still wrapped around your ankle, and it is the heaviest one, the sunk cost fallacy. In economics, a sunk cost is money already spent that cannot be recovered. The rational mind knows this. You don't throw good money after bad, but in life, that currency is time, and men are catastrophically irrational with it. You stay in the miserable job because you've been there 15 years. You've accumulated seniority, vacation days, a pension that vests in 5 more years. You tell yourself you're being responsible, practical, but what you're really doing is building a more expensive prison. You're trading your remaining healthy years for the illusion of security. You stay in the toxic friendship because you've known them since high school. You share history. You've been through things together. But ask yourself honestly, would you choose this person today? If you met them now at 40, would you invest your limited time in them? Or are you just honoring a contract you signed as a boy? You refuse to start the business, change careers, or pursue the thing that actually lights you up because you have a degree in something else. You spent 4 years and $40,000 studying accounting or engineering or whatever credential you're now hiding behind. So you think you must be an accountant forever. You think changing course would mean admitting you were wrong. But Seneca, the same Seneca who told us life is long if well invested, had an answer for this. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Listen carefully. You feel you have wasted 20 years. Maybe you have. Fine. Acknowledge it. Sit with that grief. Feel the full weight of those lost years. But do not throw away the next 40 years just because you wasted the first 20. That is not loyalty to your past. That is suicide of your future. That is not honor. that is cowardice dressed up as consistency. The past is dead. You cannot resurrect it, but you can stop making the same mistake today. Right now, the question is not, what would my life look like if I had started 10 years ago? The question is, what will my life look like 10 years from now if I don't start today? Last week, we talked philosophy. Today, let's talk science. Because some of you think this is just motivational rhetoric. You think I'm selling hope. So let's discuss biology. There is a lie society tells men over 40 that your brain has hardened like concrete, that you cannot teach an old dog new tricks. This is biologically false. It is propaganda designed to keep you consuming instead of creating. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, to forge new neural pathways, does not stop at 25. It does not stop at 40. It does not stop at 60. It only requires more friction to engage. When you were 20, learning was easy because your brain was a sponge. Every experience was novel. At 40, your brain is a filter. It has created efficient pathways for everything you do regularly. This is why you can drive home without remembering the journey. Your brain has automated it. This efficiency is useful for routine, but deadly for growth. To learn a new skill now, to restart, you must engage in what neuroscientist Andrew Huberman calls high-friction limbic friction. You must deliberately seek out activities that create agitation. That frustration you feel when trying to learn video editing, or a new language, or how to build a business. That knot in your chest when you fail at something in front of others. That is not a sign you're too old. That is the chemical signal that your brain is waking up. It's dopamine and norepinephrine flooding your system, saying, pay attention, this matters, adapt. Most men run from this agitation. The moment they feel stupid, they quit. They retreat to comfort, the same shows, the same food, the same people, the same thoughts. This is not aging. This is decaying. This is choosing death while your heart still beats. If you want to restart, you must hunt for friction. You must actively seek experiences that make you feel incompetent. You must do things that make you feel stupid again. The Stoic Musonius Rufus said, if you wish to be a physician, you must be willing to be called a quack. If you wish to restart, you must be willing to be a beginner. You must let go of your reputation as the guy who knows what he's doing. Last week, we eliminated external burdens, but there is an internal burden that must die, the boy. To be born again, you must first die. The version of you that created this mess cannot be the one who fixes it. You cannot solve a problem with the same thinking that created it. The boy seeks approval. He curates his life for an audience. He makes decisions based on what others will think. He chooses a safe path because he doesn't want criticism. The boy wants to be liked. He wants to be invited to groups that don't challenge him, that don't demand his best. The boy avoids conflict. He says yes when he means no. He swallows his truth to keep the peace. He tolerates disrespect because confrontation is uncomfortable. The man accepts that nobody is coming to save him. Nobody will fix his marriage. Nobody will make him wealthy. Nobody will hand him purpose. The cavalry isn't coming. There is no inheritance, no lottery ticket, only him, his choices, and the consequences. At 40, you are no longer a victim of your upbringing. I don't care how terrible your childhood was. I don't care what your father did or didn't do. Not because it doesn't matter, but because at 40, you are no longer a victim of your past. You are a volunteer in your present. Every day you choose to remain in your current condition is a vote for that condition. If you want a new life, you must be willing to sacrifice your old one. Not eventually, not someday. Last week, we spoke about quietly letting go of the need for approval. But restarting is impossible if you're surrounded by the ghosts of your past. You cannot grow in the environment that stunted you. Look at the 5 men you spend the most time with. Be honest. Are they discussing ideas or discussing other people? Are they building or complaining? When you meet, do you leave energized or drained? There is a concept in physics called entropy. Systems tend toward disorder unless energy is applied. Your old friend group is likely an entropic system. You meet up, you drink the same beer, you tell the same stories from 1999, and you complain about your wives, your jobs, your lives. This is a comfort trap. It feels safe because it's familiar. But it is an anchor tied to your ankle while you try to swim. To restart, you must conduct a ruthless audit. You don't need drama. You don't need to burn bridges with explosions. You simply stop crossing them. You fade. You become unavailable for activities that drain you, so you can be available for activities that build you. They will notice. They will ask, "You think you're better than us now?" Let them talk. Solitude is better than stagnant company. Seneca warned, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." If you look around your table and you are the smartest, most ambitious, most disciplined man there, you are at the wrong table. Last week, we discussed the Stoic concept of Memento Mori. Remember that you will die. But let's make it visceral. Most men drift through their 40s thinking they have time. They'll start next year, after this project, after the kids are older. They're waiting for permission that will never come. You don't have time. Let's do the math. If you live to 80, generous considering your stress and diet, you have roughly 2,000 weeks left. That sounds like a lot until you break it down. But how many will be healthy weeks? How many before your knees go? Before your back gives out? Before grief takes a year from you? How many before you're too tired, too sick, too late? When you truly realize the clock is ticking, not intellectually but viscerally, you stop caring about embarrassment. You want to start a YouTube channel? Who cares if people laugh? You are dying. You want to write a book? Who cares if it's not perfect? You are dying. You want to leave your job and build something meaningful? Who cares if you fail? You are dying anyway. Use death as your fuel, not morbidly, clarifyingly. It is the only thing that burns hot enough to melt regret. The Stoics kept skulls on their desks. Marcus Aurelius meditated on death daily, not because they were depressed, but because death gives life meaning. Urgency gives action purpose. So how do you actually do it? Do you quit your job tomorrow? Blow up your life in one dramatic gesture? No, that is a midlife crisis. We are building midlife clarity. A crisis is emotional. Clarity is strategic. You restart by stacking small wins. You don't reverse 20 years of decay in a weekend. You fix your morning. You fix your Monday. You fix one habit, one choice, one conversation at a time. Start with the body. The body is the anchor. If your body is weak, your mind is weak. This is neuroscience. Physical strength creates mental resilience. Lift heavy things, not for aesthetics, for sovereignty. When you control your body, you start to believe you can control your life. Walk in silence, no podcasts, no music, just you and your thoughts. Let the uncomfortable ones come. That silence is where clarity lives. When your physical form changes, when your shoulders widen, your gut shrinks, when you can do things at 42 you couldn't do at 32, your mind starts to believe change is possible. Then attack the mind. Read one page of philosophy instead of scrolling the news. Just one page. Eliminate one toxic contact. Just one. Small, quiet, violent changes. The world rewards action, not intention. Stop telling people what you're going to do. Stop making announcements. Just do it. Quietly, relentlessly. Colonel Sanders didn't franchise KFC until he was 62. He was broke, divorced, living off Social Security. John Goodenough, creator of the lithium-ion battery, didn't win the Nobel Prize until he was 97. Vera Wang didn't enter fashion until 40. Alan Rickman didn't get his first movie role until 46. Sam Walton founded Walmart at 44. History is filled with men who woke up late. The only tragedy is not that you started late. The tragedy is that you never started at all. But be warned, as you restart, you will face resistance. Not from the world, but from people closest to you. Your wife might feel threatened. Your friends will mock you. Your family will question you. They'll say you're having a midlife crisis. And they're right. You have change, that's the point. They will hate your change because it shines a light on their stagnation. Your transformation is a mirror they don't want to look into. How do you deal with them? How do you detach from the opinions of the herd without becoming bitter? How do you protect your restart from people who claim to love you, but want you to stay small? That is what we discuss next week. The art of detachment. How to love people without needing their approval. How to be kind without being weak. How to move forward when everyone around you is pulling you back. Subscribe to Midlife Clarity. Your second life begins now, not tomorrow, not next week. Now, in this moment, with this decision, to stop lying to yourself and start living like you're running out of time, because you are.